We got set for a week of CPI PPI, Tesla event, AMD event, Dell event, and we got everything that we expected for another week of another all-time high to the S&P 500, the 45th all-time high in 2024. I'm Micha Stocks, and on this channel we talk about stocks. We summarize the week without any music. Let's dive in. Quick reminder, everything and anything that you see here is not financial advice. It's only for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you're new and you will subscribe, that would be amazing, because then you'll get notified, if you turn notifications on, to anything that I will upload. Currently, I upload only every Saturday evening, but maybe in the future I will increase my uploads, and you will enjoy more and more content on this channel. This is how the market ended for the week. Dow Jones up 1.2%, NASDAQ up 1.18%, S&P up 1.1%, and the Russell up almost 1%. RSP equal weighted S&P up 0.74%. A very, very strong week, and as I mentioned earlier, the 45th all-time high for 2024. Magnificent Seven led the way with Nvidia up 7.9%, and if I'm not mistaken, in the last month, Nvidia's stock is up 25%. It is not at all-time high per Nvidia stock, but there is a huge recovery from where it was about a month ago. Amazon up 1.2%. The rest didn't really perform as well, and Tesla down 12.9% for the week after, let's call it a quite disappointing event or underwhelming event. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. When we look at the different indices, you can see that the technology and the technology story is up 2.4%, then the industrial up 2.15%, and financials up 1.8%. You can see utilities cooling down a bit this week, down 2.5% after a monster rally for the last few weeks. Whether it's because the CPI came a bit hotter than expected and the expectations for a rate reduction have shifted a bit, or just a very healthy pullback. When we look at the crypto market, we have Ethereum up 1.5% and Bitcoin up 1.3%. Most of the gains came in the last 2 or 3 days, but still, gain is a gain for the week. That, of course, impacts all the related stocks like MicroStrategy, the Bitcoin miners, Robinhood, and also Coinbase. So if you see those stocks going up, usually it's because of the crypto market, which means that if the crypto market would change direction and go down, these stocks, because they're so volatile, will go down even more. Just be careful if you hold them, because this market is pretty volatile. When we look at the crude oil, you can see it's up 1.5% for the week, mainly because of tensions in the Middle East. Silver and gold didn't perform as well this week. You can see them fractionally up and fractionally down after gold held an all-time high. So that's just another cooling down, I might say. And natural gas down 7.3% for the week. That brings us directly to the news of the week. We were prepared for a dramatic week, and we got exactly that. CPI came in hotter than expected. The expectation was for 2.3% year over year, and we got 2.4%. That changed very drastically the expectations for a rate decrease in the November meeting, in the Fed November meeting. Currently, everyone expects a rate decrease, but the expectation was for a bigger decrease, and now we're seeing about 15% saying maybe there wouldn't be even a decrease. We'll even see from Fed Bostic who thinks that, and others believe that it's going to be a smaller rate reduction of 25 basis points. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know, because I wasn't in the future, but I assume that if the current state will continue, there will be a reduction, even for the sake of continuing the path that the Fed should have probably started a few months ago. PPI, on the other side, which is the producer price index, came in better than expected. So if you're looking for inflation coming down on the CPI, you didn't get it, but on the PPI, you did get it. Now, does that change everything I mentioned a minute ago? And I'm not sure, but it just shows that if you look at it every percentage point or every small percentage point, you will not be able to have a strategy on rate reductions. Tesla, October 10th, presented their prototype for the Cybercab. It was I would say an underwhelming event. Others might say it was an amazing event. Let's dice it down for a second and talk about what was presented that wasn't known. We knew that Tesla is working on a Cybercab. We didn't know how it would look like. This is how the prototype looks like. Why am I mentioning prototype? Because it will only launch end of 2026, early 2027. Will it look this way or will it look the other way? We don't really know. And that's one of the problems. Yes, they produce 20 to 50 prototypes. Yes, they're testing it out, but it's not even close. We don't know enough details. We don't know the price yet. The price is supposed to be under $30,000, but again, there's more unknowns than knowns. What we do know, and that's not totally related to the Cybercab, but it might be, that the Cybercab does not have a wheel and does not have accelerating brakes and accelerating paddles and not brake paddles, which means that it's fully autonomous. At least according to Elon Musk in the presentation, he said that California and Texas by 2025 will enable full FSD, full self-driving, which means that you don't need to hold the wheel, you don't need to look at the road. The car will take you from one place to the other. That is dramatic. That might be the most dramatic thing that was mentioned. Basically, two very big states that are agreeing, at least according to Elon Musk, to have Tesla cars, not these Cybercabs, but the regular Tesla cars that you see in your town, driving themselves. The second thing that was presented was the RoboVan, a van that can include 20 people inside and can drive itself without a driver, without anything. It can take a bachelor party, a bachelorette party, just a party from one place to the other. Seems like the future, and Elon Musk and the team in Tesla is trying to bring the future to life. We don't have a timeline for this. We don't know a price for this. We don't know anything. It's nice. It's a very nice gimmick. But again, that's why it was underwhelming. Because, okay, who needs this vehicle? Maybe in the future, this will replace buses and maybe other transportation means, but it's in the future, years ahead. So yeah, we did get a glimpse of the future, but I think that investors were looking for something more concrete to put inside their Excel sheets in order to price the Tesla stock. And the reaction was that the day after, Tesla stock went down 7%. Is that a buying opportunity or not? It depends how you want to invest your money and looking for it. If you want to invest in the future, yes, you saw a glimpse in the future. Does that mean that you should buy Tesla stock? That's up to you. I remind you, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a person with a fish behind his back. McDonald's on 10/10 also had a huge launch. They launched a new chicken Big Mac. Yes, I know you were expecting it. And in order to promote it, they put it in the Las Vegas Sphere, an amazing place to advertise Big Macs. And AMD, Lisa Su, celebrated 10 years as the CEO of AMD with a lot of achievements. The main one is basically bringing Intel to their knees. But AMD also launched an AI chip to rival Nvidia's Blackwell. The market didn't really be excited that much of that chip because AMD stock fell 5% in the day of the launch. Day after, which is Friday, it went up. It didn't go back to where it started, but it started going back up. What we do know, and that's related to Blackwell, to Nvidia's Blackwell, that brings us here, to Nvidia's Blackwell is, according to Morgan Stanley, Nvidia has sold all the 2025 and Blackwell chips that they will produce. If talking about Nvidia rang the bell on Friday, and Jensen came in the NASDAQ, entered the CNBC Squawk Box show. Here you can see them all excited.
Wait.
Say hello.
How is the camera not getting?
Can we get a better camera?
When he comes in,
here,
he has no microphone.
He's here just to...
And listen to his reaction.
He's doing some other stuff here. But...
We don't have a microphone on you is a problem.
Well,
but
it's so exciting to be on the air. Am I on TV?
You're on TV.
That's incredible. I'm with Becky.
With the greatest show, greatest show in the world.
This is the greatest show on earth.
Wow, keep that tape. And by the way, with what is arguably the most successful company in America today.
Well,
Can we just say that?
Even
Well,
broadly
especially,
than
I mean,
that.
just on the trajectory it's been.
Probably not quite market cap, but in terms of getting to this market
Yes,
cap.
unbelievable.
in
Unbelievable ride.
16 days or whatever the hell.
It wasn't
Anyway.
quite 16 days. 32 years and 16 days.
That's what they always say.
And that is an amazing sentence. Joe from CNBC told him 16 days the market cap went up and it became so big. Jensen replies by saying, yes, it was 32 years and 16 days. So if you're expecting overnight success, just like it happened in 16 days, the answer is yes, it happened in 16 days, but 32 years prior to that. That's Nvidia. Rang the bell on Friday in the NASDAQ. China keeps sending waves into the stock market. Press conference held yesterday or today. China's finance minister signals that they are open to potential increase in their deficit in order to stimulate their market. We'll see on Monday how the market and the investors take that into consideration. Will that fuel be a tailwind to Chinese stocks or another headwind like it was this week? Boeing is expected to cut around 17,000 employees. That is after the strike continues and they're not delivering their planes. If they're not delivering their planes, the revenue will go down. If the revenue will go down, the earnings will go down. If the earnings will go down, then they have a problem. But they have a balance sheet issue. They didn't raise enough capital when they could. Boeing is in trouble, basically. Probably eventually the government will need to step in and inject billions of dollars into Boeing, but we'll see. That will develop. Intel launches their first AI PC processor. The FDA is reassessing ban on compounded versions of Eli Lilly, which means that Hims and others will not be able to ship any compound for Ozempic or the Eli Lilly version of the weight loss drugs. We talked about the Fed. And Fed Bostic, one of the Fed presidents, says that he's the Atlanta Fed president, says that he's okay skipping November rate cut. I don't believe that they're going to skip it, but they're preparing the market that if it happens, the market won't be that surprised. Amazon is planning to deploy about 1,000 robots in order to reduce their or improve their delivery services instead of manual labor. Dell expands their AI capabilities. Disney is flooded because of Milton. Google, or actually the U.S. Justice Department is considering splitting Google and taking Chrome and Android out of Google as a separate company. It will take years anyway, but it's a cloud on top of Google. Peter Todd on Twitter, on X, says, I am not Satoshi. Why does he say that? Because HBO has a docu-series saying that he is Satoshi Nakamoto, the one that invented the Bitcoin. Roblox CEO tries to overcome the Hindenburg research paper that says that the company is short on Roblox because there is evidence that they systematically lied for years about the number of people on their platform, and also that the platform is a hellscape for pedophiles. It's a very, very harsh accusations, and I think Roblox will need to come out and of course, do a lot more than they did this week. Uber starts a shuttle service between Manhattan and LaGuardia for $18. That is not expensive at all. SMCI updates that they shipped over 100,000 AI GPUs per quarter. Pfizer, or actually activists, are going after Pfizer by trying to improve the company and to create some kind of turnaround. And we will end the news with the 45th time we had all-time high on the S&P 500. For if you're a new investor here and you don't understand what this means, it means that during 2024, we saw 45 times that the S&P broke all-time high. Now, is that the biggest number ever? No. Does that mean that the market will not correct itself? No. Does that mean that the market will not go up anymore? No. But what it does mean, according to Ryan Dietrich and Carson Group, is that when you look at bull markets, and on October 12, we celebrated 2 years of this bull market, the average bull market is around 5 years. Yes, there are times that it's 2.1 and 2.6 and even 1.8. But the average is still 5.5 and the median is 5 years, which means that we might still have at least 3 more years of a bull market. This is great news because if you felt like the bull market, you weren't in because people frightened you and all these things happened, according to the statistics, and again, we have not been in the future, so we do not know. Maybe tomorrow morning everything's going to crash. I don't know. But the statistic shows that we still have enough time. This bull market is still young. As you can see, this is the current bull market, and this is the bull markets that happened in the past. Bull market meaning that the market goes up, of course, and doesn't come down. It does not mean that there isn't volatility, meaning that corrections happen, 5, 10% happen actually between 1 to 5 times a year, but it does mean that we might keep on going up. That brings us to next week. And next week, we have this interesting piece from Goldman Sachs that says that the CTAs, which are the computer trading algorithms, are projected to sell the S&P 500 in every single scenario in the next week and month, meaning that there is selling pressure, at least from the CTAs. Does that mean that someone else will not step in and buy? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that you need to be preparing that there's a huge seller in the market that wants to sell the S&P 500. At least prepare yourself for it. We have earnings Tuesday. Monday, of course, is Martin Luther King Day, so there's not a lot of earnings, and the bond market is closed. Tuesday, we will get banks, Citi, Bank of America, we'll get Johnson & Johnson and United Health. Tuesday, after the bell, we will get United Interactive Brokers and others. Wednesday, we will hear from ASML, Morgan Stanley, and others. And after the bell, we will hear from Alcoa, PPG. But Thursday is the big day of the week. Taiwan Semi, Travelers, and others on before the opening bell. And after, we will get Intuitive Surgical, Netflix, and more. Friday, we will hear from Schlumberger and others. Not a lot of macro this week. A few Fed officials are talking. We'll get retail sales on Thursday and housing starts on Friday. But that brings us to the S&P 500, which I've just discussed. As you can see, this is the 50-day moving average in the green line and the 150-day moving average in the red or purple line here. But what I want us to look at this week is something a bit different. I want to look at, it's the same candlesticks that we've seen before, but I'm changing the view to a weekly view. The reason for that, and I'm taking off the moving averages. The reason for that is because I want to show you a phenomena that is, let's say, raising a few flags. When we see a stock market or price action going up with an increased volume, it means that more and more people are stepping in to buy. Think of a restaurant. If more and more people are coming into the restaurant, it means that the restaurant probably is better. But if we see every week less and less people stepping into the restaurant, there's something happening, right? Usually that means that maybe the dishes are not good, maybe there's a better restaurant, a lot of things might happen. And that is exactly what is happening here. As you can see, these are the Japanese candlesticks, but down here you can see the bars that represent the volume. The volume meaning the amount of buying and selling that is happening. And you can see that in the last 4 weeks, we are getting the volume is coming down. Does that mean that we will not hit any more all-time highs? No. Does that mean that we're going to correct tomorrow morning? No. But what it does do, it raises, at least when I'm recording this video, a flag that the volume is going down. It's not drying, it's not falling 50%, but it is coming down, and you should be aware of that. That's all. Now, when we go back to the dailies, you can see that we have, of course, support around 56.69, where we had the support tested a few weeks ago, and we can keep going up to around 58.50 or around 59, or come back down to test 56.69. Hopefully, we will not go down all the way to the 50-day moving average, which is around 55.80 or 5600. during the next week. We are entering the last 2 weeks before election, 3 weeks before election. Expect volatility. November 5th, election. A president will be nominated, hopefully. And that will, of course, reduce the volatility. But till then, expect it. It's part of the game. Stay long, be long. If you enjoyed it, you can share it with your friends. Smash that like button. I will see you next week. Same time, same place. See you later. Bye-bye. There's no ending.